Good morning, good evening, good night. Welcome back to Lana's Little Things with me, Dr. Lana, specialist gerontologist. Welcoming all family caregivers and agers and thrivers, where we talk about bridging gaps among the generations, family caregiving, aging, like fine wine, and just entrepreneurial life and life itself. And this month, green, as you can tell, we're rounding off. I can't believe May is finished already. Mental Health Awareness Month. And I quite like that theme. And I want us to just talk a little, I'm going to talk a little bit about that. But I want to focus on, just as a summary for this post for tonight, I'd love to hear your thoughts on what aspects of mental health you were able to work on or think about during this month and beyond, because who we are is not just in a month. So let's just get into it. Defining mental health and saying, instead of Mental Health Month, which it used to be called, it's recently, can't remember how many years, but then turned into Mental Health Awareness Month. And I love the change because, as I said in the previous post, which I'll leave a link here, at medical school, we were taught mental health. Yes, okay, the WHO definition is not the just the absence of disease. It is social, personal, interpersonal uh, health within your mindset, your growth, your participation, your joy, your connections, and all that. But then it morphed into mental illness. So somehow mental health became mental illness, despite the definition. And that is because the mind, the brain, society, the whole toxic drama of things and how things can go went into the spiral of, well, it's going to be mental health disease we're talking about. And then the labels of the types of mental health became anxiety, personality disorder, mood disorder. That's not mental health. That's mental ill health. And we're not talking about mental ill health. We could go down the path of that, and Lord knows there's a lot that can be talked about on mental illness. But hey, it's hard enough as it is life without having to add to that. So let's keep it on the positive note, because what you focus on grows. So that's that part of it. Reminder that it's the whole person, and why does it matter? Because it affects our lives, our thoughts about ourselves, our feelings and within, how we interact with family first, how we interact with, no, I would say self first, how we interact with family members, our interpersonal relationships, our romantic relationships, our social and otherwise relationships, friendships. How do we deal with loss? How do we deal with stressors? What I call the splat on the windshield, when it just something really awful just hits you and in life and totters you. How do you maintain your mental health and not go into a spiral, especially when it has to do with grief? Oh, and boy, did we talk a lot about grief, because so much grief has been going around. So again, to just maintain our mental health talk, mental health focus, we're going to talk about the five C's all on one hand, so it's easy. 5 C's of mental health, and just break those down just a little bit. Whichever you may have thought is for you, maybe is your better strength, or something you'd like to work on as the year continues, because it's all about development as a person. Share it in the comments. Share how your mental health journey has affected your relationships with others, and your relationship and your views about yourself. And even if you see a friend, especially, or someone having a mental health struggle, and that's not disease. We're not talking disease. We're not talking psychosis. We're not talking medication. We're not talking, oh, what's wrong with you? We're talking, what happened to you? How do you feel today? how can it be better? How can you improve? How can we take, reframe an awful thing and reframe it into something that is manageable? That's what we're going to talk about. So the 5 C's: competence, confidence, character, connection, and caring. All right. And those are all different things, but they all linked together. Competence obviously is how you feel about the way you do the things you do. So you can get this done, you can get the job done. You're in a particular job, oh, they know you will be on time, you're going to get the deadlines made, you're going to come up with innovative products, your creativity is there, you're good at what you do, and that gives a feedback loop that tells your brain, hey, we're pretty good at stuff. No bragging, but it gives that your brain a boost, a chemical, literally a chemical boost of confidence. We're going to the second one, of confidence because of your competence. So here we go into confidence. The more you practice something, the better you become at it. It doesn't matter if let me tell you, from washing dishes to fulfilling your full life's dream, there has to be some talent as well. But in terms of the bigger the dream, the bigger the vision, the bigger the scope, the more you want to develop yourself as a person, practice, practice, practice. Learn. Success leaves clues. Learn from those who've been successful in their field. See what worked for them. And not in a way to copy, because us are not copies. We're originals. And never, never. But falling into the trap of comparing, oh my word, how I dislike that word. Comparisons are poison. They're poison to your mental health. So the only person you are competing with is the person you were yesterday. Just remember that. I have to always remember that in my brain too. When I'm like, you go into a spiral, like, why can't I get this? This was done so well, or this person does this so well. You aren't them, and who knows, they're thinking the same thing about you, how well you do. So hey, give yourself grace for the space. So confidence, the more you practice something, the better you get at it, the more it increases your competence. That helps in the workplace, that helps in families, that helps in relationships, that helps with your leadership skills. And to be on a practical, pragmatic side, if you're in a job that requires both those, promotions, more responsibilities, yes, but promotions, more money. Hey, hope we could all use a little bit more. Facts, we got bills to pay. But not only that, let's go into the third C, which I think is, for me, one of the stronger ones. And this is what really can separate the sheep from the goats in mental health: character. Character is something that you are inside. It is all about your integrity, your honesty, your trustworthiness. You keep your word. Persons know you're a person of your word. You're going to do it. There's no deception. There's no two faces. Again, how two faces are on my hit list, so to speak. Dislike list. So your character, who you are inside at core, we want to be sure that is as healthy as it can be. And that comes from doing things like breath work, prayer, meditation, going silent, focusing on yourself. Journaling, still something that gives me a challenge, but I know some people are fantastic at journaling. So what it helps you to see is your trend, and how have you become a better person, a better leader, a better mother, a better spouse, a better teacher, whatever it is. So character, and what is said about you, not gossip, but what is said about you generally, and how you know yourself to be, your character. Hey, you can't buy a reputation. It won't last long anyway if you bought it. It is who you are at core. And that, all those, you see how they're interlinked? That creates connections with others. Connections, because when person sense that you're trustworthy, when they see your competence, they know your character, they your confidence exudes and brings that energy in a room. You can be relied upon. The connections come. And we need connection. No, we're not made in little cubicles. Although, to be frank, my dad thinks that, I'm best probably making people in little cubicles. It's a thought. But anyway, we're made to be connected to each other, interconnected. And I can't stress that interconnectedness enough. Friendships, relationships, connections of any kind require a give and a take, not transactions, a give and a take, a me and you. Not one person holding all the weight and the other person feeling as though they're being given charity. That doesn't create a connection. That's a transaction. Who wants that? We want to have living, breathing, tight connections that last for life. Our ride and die friends. We want that. We need it for life, really. How much has the last 5, 6 years taught us that lockdown, isolation, all that damaged connections, damaged confidence, damaged competence, damaged relationships? We are rebuilding. And as we rebuild, you don't have to have 75 friends. No. Actually, the fewer, the better. So 3, 4 core, that's it. Because you know they have your back and you have theirs. And that will never leave. Be careful who you connect with. And caring. Oh, I love caring. And this is not just caring for everybody else. This is not the altruistic Mother Teresa, Florence Nightingale caring I'm talking about. I ain't talking about sacrificial lamb caring. I'm talking about, and mental health is talking about self-care. Self-care. The one that we put on the back burner, especially in family caregiving. The one person you take care of the least is you. As my brother reminded me, yes, 2, 3 days ago, he's like, sis, you know what? It's time for you now. You got to do you. And he didn't say it in a bad way. And it's not, it's like, you got to remind yourself, hey, if I don't take care of myself, I can't take care of anybody else. And if I dare to, I'd be hypocritical. And and my body would know I'm being hypocritical. And your body knows the truth. So you'd feel that disconnect. So when you are really into the caring, the self-care, that spills over and you can give from your spillover to anybody else. And that creates and maintains the connectedness. Is that a word? And it improves our bonds. So on this second last day of May, mental health, I trust that which one stood out to you the most? Which one would you think, hey, I'm great at this one. I want to work on this one. We all got something to work on. We are all works in progress. Nobody is a finished product and has it all together. So don't let the SMs, the social medias, the pretty posts, the perfect posts fool you. No, we all working on this together. This has been a beautiful month. It has been a challenging month for many. It has been a personally challenging month, and it really does bring out what is my mental health. Really makes you reflect. What is the state of my mental health? And how can I make it better? And I hope that is true for you. Remember to like, subscribe, share the friend. It really improves the channel. It improves the reach for those who really do, especially family caregivers and older persons, really do and we want to connect. We want to be sure, we want to know that we are speaking with like minds, people who understand us, people who know us best, people who won't be judging when they don't have the first clue of what is going on. So give yourself grace. Remember the 5 C's. Remember, mental health is life itself. From my heart to yours, Dr. Lana. Wonderful month. We're going into June, and we'll talk about what we're going to do that next time. So again, like, share, subscribe, press notification bell, and I will see you in the next video. Bye-bye. From my heart to yours.